Well, good afternoon. It's me, Alex, the founder and instructor from Dispatch Training Center. And today we guys gonna go for basics. I know that my TikToker is gonna just see little highlights because I just put my phone next to me, and hopefully they will jump to our YouTube channel because you guys can find us as Dispatch Training Center and you can actually participate in this live. Well, what's going on in trucking? Well, trucking is not going anywhere, guys, because we cannot survive in the USA without transportation, right? We need to make sure that beginners, people who try to join trucking industry, people who are actually investing in their training to be a dispatcher, maybe safety manager, people who just got the CDL, maybe people who've been in a business for 10, 20 years are trying to survive. But in the end of the day, everything goes back to knowledge, everything goes back to logic, and everything going back to survival skills. How to put that puzzle and make sure that you are still going. Do not give up. Trucking can be challenging, but it is possible. Everything goes up and down. As long as you have positive mind, you will survive. And hopefully I will see some of my students from previous classes, our class which we started 2 weeks ago, and they will ask the questions. But of course, first let's go back to basics because our core education is our core business. Sorry, you know what, I jump our core business is education. That's why if you are guys are not familiar where to find us, it's on our website, learndispatchtoday.com. We have all the training which we schedule right now. I scheduled them till October. So what's coming up right now? We already are running our June training for dispatchers. We're gonna have a webinar on how to open trucking company. We postpone it to July because most of my students who are in a class right now, they will also join because they need to know how to open MCs, how to open DOTs, what is a clearinghouse, permits, and the basic stuff that they need to understand as a future pro dispatchers. And hopefully it's going to be extra stream of income for them, right? Also, our trucking safety and compliance are coming up in July. If you just looking for IFTA, you can separate that and just have IFTA. If you already know your IFTA, maybe you can just take part of trucking and compliance. But the best value is right here, guys, our combo. That's when you sign up for both classes, trucking safety and compliance plus IFTA. Well, you are saving $250. And of course, for Independence Day, we're going to have some promotion for the big holiday, right? We will be supporting everybody in these tough times. So make sure you look for the sales. I want to make sure that you guys pay attention to express class, right? So, what is the difference between regular dispatch class and our express class? Well, it's gonna be faster. So, this is for people who maybe are on the road and they don't have a luxury to take 5 Saturdays in a row to be in a class. So we're going to have Saturday, Sunday, another Saturday, and the practice day. So we're going to be done instead of 6 weeks, we're going to be done in kind of 2.5 weeks. This would not be a good solution for people who are learning a little bit slower. You guys know your skills, you know how you take information. So then we already schedule our September class. So make sure, do not choose express class if you have not been studying for a while. Maybe you need a time to read, to reread, to practice. Then please sign up for September. So this is the news about the schedule. IFTA is already scheduled for October, and we're gonna finish up kind of strong. We are almost, guys, half of the 2023, and 2023 have been a very, very challenging in trucking. Well, what's going on? Market went down, right? Volumes for the freight are not there. Everybody is complaining. How can we survive? The fuel went down a little bit, but it's still higher than before. Insurance cost is kind of killing us, right? If you are opening a brand new MC, lots and lots of changes. One of them, lots of brokers are extending the time when you can start working with them. It's very challenging. You apply for MC first. Let's remember, if you apply for MC, approximately it's gonna take you a month to activate that MC. One more time, MC, motor carrier. So, what is that term motor carrier? Well, that means it's a person, a company that provides what? Transportation for compensation. Simple as that. Nobody does it for free. So, we are providing service. We are moving freight from A to B, and we are getting compensating. So who can be a motor carrier, right? Well, the motor carrier usually this is a legal entity, right? That is going to operate a commercial vehicles for what? Going back to the first slide, providing service, providing movement of a freight from A to B, commercial purposes. And we have different types of carriers, right? So let's clear up this. What does it mean for hire? Well, for hire, motor carrier is a carrier who transports goods or property for compensation. What is the difference between private carrier? Well, it's still a carrier, still have to apply for MC, but they do not provide transportation for compensation. Simple example. Let's say company has their small bus, right? And they just transport their employees, right? Well, they don't do it for compensation. Let's say Walmart is an carrier, right? They're a contract carrier. Well, they still hire motor carriers to bring goods to their DCs, but Walmart also might have trucks and they move their freight with that just for their company. So this is a difference. So in the end of the day, as a new dispatcher, you need to understand who are you going to be working for? Well, you're going to be working for the motor carrier authorized for hire, right? Authorized for hire. And what are you going to do as a dispatcher? Well, we're going to check on it again and again and again. And I seem like I'm like a broken record, but we have new people coming in into the business. We have new people who find our channel. So that's why if you are watching me, kind of be patient because this is the basics. We are here to give education, and sometimes repetition is a good key to stay on top of your knowledge, of your growth. Keep going, keep learning. And of course, let's comment, and let's ask the questions, right? So let's continue. So why carriers are so important? Why? Why the carriers are such an important part of the USA economy? Well, because guys, we are helping everybody to actually stay in business, right? We are bringing product to general public, right? People sell their products. So without carriers, a lot of businesses would not exist. And that's why we actually lack in awareness. Our general public sometimes does not understand how vital trucking industry is for economy. Well, simple as that. Who is going to bring milk or eggs for your family? Who is going to bring the clothes that you need to buy for your kids? The furniture, the fancy computers, or just the simple things, starting with the toilet paper, starting with water, starting with anything. That's why let's not underestimate our transportation industry, logistics, right? And you, as a new dispatchers, are coming into this trillion, billion industry, and you have to understand your crucial role, because I can tell you this: dispatchers are the ones who orchestrate the moves. Dispatchers are the one who make profits for the carriers. Dispatchers are the one who prevent lots and lots of mistakes. Dispatchers can help you to survive, and they can also put you out of the business. So, as a dispatcher, we're going to make sure we understand our responsibilities, liabilities that we put on the shoulders, right? When we promise somebody that we're going to do a good job by finding the loads, by dispatching trucks, by helping with everyday tasks. Well, I'll be back in a second and we're going to continue. And I will be back. So, what are the essential things that dispatcher has to do on everyday basics? Well, let's see. We are going to be managing. We are going to be managing what? Freight, right? On behalf of carriers. By how? By using load boards, right? By building that relationship with brokers, right? What else are we going to do? Well, we're going to be dispatching our drivers. We're going to make sure that we have that unbreakable circle, right? A to B, from B to C, coming back to A. We're going to make sure that our dispatching makes sense, right? We're not going to go to dead areas. We're not going to go and stay somewhere for 2-3 days. So we need to have lots and lots of knowledge. So let's see. What are the most crucial things for you to know before you even gonna start advertise that you are the best dispatcher out there? Well, repeating myself, but you need to know the USA geography. You need to know the time zones. You need to know the seasons. You need to know the routes. You need to understand the traffic. You need to understand the challenges of going through big cities, right? You need to understand the challenges of driving during the day, during holidays. You need to know the crucial terminology, simple as what does it mean shipper? What is a receiver? What is a pickup? What is a layover? What is a tonneau? What is a rate confirmation? What do I do when broker is ignoring me and I cannot find that pickup number? Is there a way that I can get help directly from shipper or receiver? How can I structure my day so I don't go crazy, because who wants to have a crazy dispatcher? And here's a question: being dispatcher, is that an easy task? Is that an easy job? Is it challenging? And I can tell you this, me personally, I love it. And you've been watching me for probably a few years. For people who come to my classes, they know I love dispatching. That's why I can tell you this: dispatching is not an easy task. It's stressful. But if you learn how to wake up in the morning and actually be happy with yourself, doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna love it. And that's my message to everybody who wants to come to trucking industry as a dispatcher. In the beginning, it's gonna be stressful. Even if you've been dispatching for 4 or 5 years, sometimes the day is gonna go crazy, especially when market is down. But if that's what you love, if that's what you choose to do, you're gonna overcome that. And of course, improving, learning, polishing the skills. So, how are you gonna find the loads? Let's say you put in your mind, this is going to be my new job. This is going to be something I'm going to jump to. Maybe you're in the medical field. Maybe you are sales. Maybe you work somewhere, I don't know, in a restaurant. Maybe you come from the corporate America and you got so tired of kissing everybody's butt and you want to become your own boss. Well, is dispatching, is becoming an independent dispatcher can give you that freedom. Can you be your own boss? Oh, hell yes, you will be your own boss. Look at me. I work from the comfort of my home. This is the first biggest plus on maybe looking into becoming a freight dispatcher. Nowadays, with the technology, most dispatchers who are successful, they do not work for the company. They don't go somewhere 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. They don't sit in a little tiny cubicle. Because why do you want to quit a corporate America if you're gonna go and work again in a little tiny cubicle? Well, you don't want to do that. So if you're a business minded, if you are independent, then this is for you. Well, you will have to overcome challenges. First, you have to be organized. You will need to understand that you will need to invest some money first in education. And again, hopefully, you guys gonna choose us, right? For hopefully, you love the way I teach, you like my directness, you like my expertise, and you like my knowledge. If you choose me, well, I'll give you the strong foundation and I'll show you how it's done on everyday basics. I'll show you the reality of market today. Not yesterday, not 3 months ago, maybe yesterday. Yeah, we're going to go back probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because as a dispatcher, you need to compare. But we're not going to just throw the numbers which were there 3 years ago, 4 years ago. That's why I do not believe in pre-recording my classes, because market changes, everything changes, economy changes. So pre-recording classes can only give you the basic knowledge, maybe terminology, maybe some description of the processes, how to get set up, how to fill out packet, how to pause the truck, how to delete the truck. The basic, yes, you can get from pre-recording classes, and that's what we actually adding for people who just wants to get strong foundation. And we're gonna have the pre-recorded classes by July. So there you go. There's your option. But live classes are actually showing you what's going on, right? So you will need to invest in training. Our training, for example, is $950. That's first expense. Then you will need to invest in what? Computer, right? You don't have to buy the most expensive computer, but you will need to at least have 2 screens, right? They are connected. You need to make sure you have a nice setting, hopefully with a window, quiet. So, because you guys gonna spend in the beginning lots of time in front of that computer. So let's say investment is about maybe from $3,000 to $5,000. If you really want to succeed, that will include that safety and compliance class. Because if you're looking into this as a business, you need to provide more than just dispatching. You're gonna be working with the small businesses. You're gonna be working with the companies. Well, one guy who are owner operator, maybe guy who has 2 trucks, the most maybe 3 trucks. That's how independent dispatch works, right? Well, you will need to help them with the safety and compliance. Of course, this is gonna be your extra income, and that's what's gonna qualify you because you have extra knowledge. Me personally, I tell all dispatchers, you want to succeed, even when you're gonna make those cold calls, you need to know what you're talking about. You need to know how to check their safety scores. You need to know what are the challenges, what is the regulation, what is trucking company has to go through to actually survive. So $5,000, well, compare that to some education, right? You go to college nowadays, I don't know, it depends where you go, how much do you spend? Well, you don't spend 5,000 to become your own boss. So is it kind of possible? Yes, it's affordable. To become an independent dispatcher is affordable. Do not kid yourself. If you decide that you're gonna just jump into it, and I know first of all, we have lots and lots of videos on our YouTube. We have other people. We have so many gurus on trucking that you can learn a lot. But again, somebody has to put that circle together to show you the principles, to show you what mistakes not to do, and actually give you that powerful insight how it should run. And if you guys been watching, and sometimes my students are not happy that I put them on YouTube when they give a review of our classes, but that would helps other people to understand what challenges people have when they decide to become a dispatcher. Some people have great communication skills, but they needed the basic knowledge of terminology. Some people have the terminology down. Some people have been driving, but they don't know how to run the business. Some truck drivers have been in this business for 10, 15 years, but they're lacking that negotiation skills, that paperwork knowledge. So everybody is different. And then we have geniuses who just come and they are good at whatever they do. But still, every industry have their little little tricks, right? You need to know how to survive. So that's why being a dispatcher might be challenging, but we are learning. And again, how the dispatchers find the load, right? What do they do? And what dispatcher has to do? Well, first, most of the time we're gonna be finding the loads what? From load boards. So here you go. You will need to learn how to use load boards. All load boards have the same idea. Idea what? You posting your equipment and you searching for the loads, right? Who is using load boards? Well, brokers are using load boards, right? Because they are posting their available loads. And dispatcher using load boards because we are posting our equipment. So just picture this is like a meeting, like a little Starbucks, right? Trucking Starbucks. We meet there, right? Well, carriers come to buy the coffee, brokers have that coffee, right? Kind of the simple example. It's like a marketplace, meeting marketplace. Shippers use it, while some shippers do not want to have brokers as a third party logistics. So they also can post their loads there. So as a dispatcher, you will be negotiating on behalf of carriers. So, one more time, what is the difference between a carrier and a dispatcher? Pay attention. Well, brokers invoice shippers, right? And pay the carrier, while dispatchers deal with the carriers. I get this question over and over and over. Who is going to pay me if I am going to become a dispatcher? Well, broker is not going to pay you. You are not motor carrier. Broker is going to charge their shippers, their customers for what? For arranging them freight moves, right? And then they are paying carrier. We already figure out who carriers are, the trucking company who has a commercial vehicle and using them for moving freight from A to B for compensation. And you as a dispatcher, you are negotiating on behalf of the carriers with the brokers. But who is going to pay you for your services? Only carrier. Because you providing the service for carrier, right? So who is a carrier? That owner operator with one truck, he is a carrier. He has a trucking company. It can be one person who has the truck, and he can be a driver. So one person can be a driver because he has business entity who applied for motor carrier number. He is a carrier, right? And you are dispatcher working for this guy. You negotiating, you arranging his movements, you helping him to go through this, right? And hopefully, why did he hire you? He hired you because he's still on the road. It's not that easy to dispatch and keep driving and pay attention, right? Because you have to be in front of computer, you have to make the calls, you have to be really good with finishing paperwork really fast. Is that easy to do for the owner operators? Well, sometimes they do. When the market was high, it was easy. They would make phone call, but a lot of times, even then, they were not negotiating. So that's why they are looking for somebody who can help them with this daily task of finding the loads, probably invoicing, right? So they don't have to have this paperwork, dealing with anything which happens, maybe detentions, layover, getting the lumper checks, right? That's what they need. Maybe they also will ask you to help them with their IFTA, with their clearinghouse, with filing their UCRs, with renewing the permits, right? Because that's what they're looking for. They want to concentrate on driving. They invested their money in buying that equipment. And a lot of times, who becomes a dispatcher? A lot of times I see it comes as a family business. The wife is dispatching her husband, the girlfriend is dispatching her boyfriend, the kids, actually the younger generation start getting to the classes so they can help their parents who've been in this trucking industry for a long time. So finally they want to build a small business. So we have family members. Then we have people who treat this as a job, as an employment, but independent, right? Me, for example, well, I also have trucking company, but I also provide dispatch services. So people who see that they can run this also as a separate business. But I want to stress out this one more time. Carrier is going to pay you for your services, not a broker, not a factoring. Well, factoring can have arrangement with the carrier. If carrier agrees, you know what, I trust Alex, I've been working with her for a year. Every time when we send invoice, make sure you take those 7%, 5%, 8%, and you send to her. Me personally, I don't like to do that. You know, I'm also the agent for the RTS, and most of my carriers, I am their agent. And it would be way easier for me to just call the RTS and say, listen, guys, instead of me invoicing my carriers all the time, every time I submit invoice, make sure you send me my percentage for the service. Why don't I like to do it? I can tell you this because I want to make sure that my carriers understand that I put them first. And I want to make sure everything goes smooth, every load to deliver, and I trust them because I do a great service. They always pay me on time. I never had somebody not paying me for dispatch service. I had maybe a few times when it's a smaller company, they just ask Alex, you know what? We had a breakdown. I know I owe you money, but I will pay you in 3 days or maybe 5 days because they've been working for me for years. Do I help them out? Yes, I'll help them out. Dispatch is not my only source of income, but it happens very, very rarely. Everybody pays on time. We have honest relationship, and that's how it should be. So here is a little tip for people who is going to jump to becoming a dispatcher. Never ever ask your talk or your phone call with a question, how are you going to pay me? First, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you're able to dispatch this carrier and then discuss how they're going to pay you. Because this is so annoying when somebody is worried, even when they start in my class. And we just going through the basics, the paperwork, and then I have questions from my student. Well, how's they gonna pay you? How's they gonna? What if they backstab me? What if I'm? Well, they're not gonna backstab you. They're not gonna not pay if you know what you're doing. This is in any business. Do we have scammers? Yes, we have scammers, but scammers come on all the levels. So that's why make sure you understand this. Honesty, loyalty, knowledge, business, um, business clarity, how to run the business is a must. So before you start calling, make sure you understand that. And one more time, after all of these videos on TikTok, on YouTube, from everybody, including me, people still are confused. That difference between dispatcher and a freight broker. Well, they kind of do the same, right? They kind of perform the similar tasks, right? But they are very, very different because a freight broker connects shippers with carriers. They go and they arrange freight. They need to also be authorized. They also going to have MC number, right? Brokerage MC number. They also need to activate that with what? With a BOC3 and a surety bond, right? But dispatchers, we do not connect our carriers with the shippers and receivers. What do? We work for carrier. And how do we find the loads? Well, we find them through the brokers, right? Because brokers have authority. They have authority to organize the freight movement. So please, can we just make sure that this is clear in your head? Because today I saw somebody ask me, well, can I go directly to shippers? Because I took the class and they gave me the shippers list. I took the dispatch class and they gave me the shippers list. Okay, good for them. Whoever was teaching you, they should have explained to you. Usually we give the shippers list so you know shippers, you know the receivers. But if you are only dispatcher, that shippers list doesn't make sense. Can you go directly to the shipper as a dispatcher? No, cannot. Legally, you cannot. You can work with a freight broker, with the same freight broker who has the same loads. So that's what you advertise. I have dedicated lanes. No, you do not have dedicated lanes. You have a broker who has the same lanes, who has the same loads, and you have a personal relationship, right? You have relationship, business relationship with this broker. You call and say, hey, Mike, I have truck there again. Can I book the same load? So if you do the same loads with the same brokers, it could seem like this is your dedicated run, but still, this is arranged by the broker. Who can go directly to shipper? Who can go and find their own freight? The bigger companies who have capacity. And we discuss this over and over. Because if I am, let's say, manufacturer, and I need to have somebody pick up this product 10 times a week, if you come to me with one flatbed and you're gonna say, well, listen, I am gonna do this, I am such a good guy, just pay me a little bit more than brokers pay. If I am a business person, why would I want to deal with 10 different mics? Why? I need to run my production. I need to make sure everything on schedule. Unfortunately, unless you know me personally and still it's not gonna make sense, because in the end of the day, it's business. I'm gonna say no. Do you have, first of all, you a motor carrier? Okay. Do you have insurance? And do you have a capacity of equipment? Pay attention. Do you have at least 15 trucks? Because I need 10 loads. The ratio has to be higher, because what happens? Drivers take vacations, trucks breaking down, we have holidays, right? So if this guy needs 10 loads per week, it depends where they go, right? Well, you need more trucks to service this lane. And that's how it works. But one more time, look at me. Dispatchers cannot go directly to shippers to get their freight. So if you have that shippers list, start learning the names of the shippers. Google how they work, their hours. Make sure that you read the comments, and your job as a dispatcher to know how good this shipper, what are their hours, is it easy to deal, do they have the parking there if your driver wants to spend the night, and if that easy to schedule or schedule. So this is your job as a dispatcher with that shippers list. Maybe one day you're gonna wake up and you decide, I am gonna skip that dispatching step, I am going to become a broker. Well, then go apply for MC, get your BOC3, get your surety bond. Then, when you have your own MC and you call yourself the best broker in the USA, you can go directly to the shippers. And if you have communication skills, if you know how to calculate how much you should charge, if you have connections, well, can you become a broker? Yes, you can become anything you want. This is a life. Anything you want, just put your goals, right? So let's see if we have anyone watching. And we're gonna continue about the skills. And of course, we're gonna be answering the questions. Let's see who is here. Okay. Glad I'm catching you live. Hi, Tina. Okay. Can you get a course for free, because $1,000 is too much for me in Pakistan? Well, we give the classes to people who reach out to us and people who really need help, but you can watch a lot of our videos, and we have lots and lots of information. Okay, and how to negotiate? Can you explain retention and how to negotiate for that? Well, again, when you're gonna be finding your carriers, I advise you to have a different plans. Well, if you have one truck, if you have brand new MC, well, then I will need to spend more time. I will need to do a lot of initial setups with the brokers. I will need to make sure that I create the carrier setup. I am kind of need to make extra phone calls, especially in this market. So maybe for the first 3 months, your rate is going to be higher. Well, if you grow and you add another truck, I'm going to go down. Or when we're going to pass this 3, 6 months, it's all up to you. You should break it down. If you just only do dispatch, if you do dispatch and invoicing, if you do dispatch, invoicing, and some simple accounting, and you do safety and compliance, you can separate this. Guys, again, this is your business. And when we start asking how much should I charge, well, I still think that we have to be realistic about this. But again, if you able to charge, I don't know, 10-15% for dispatch as an independent dispatcher under their MC, well, go ahead for this. Do I think it's too high? Yes, it's too high, especially if you are brand new. Especially if you are brand new, you don't even have enough knowledge. You're gonna make lots and lots of mistakes. Even after taking the training, it's gonna take you probably the first 3 months to get into understanding what to do and not to do. And I am big on giving them 1 week free. Dispatch them not for one load. One load cannot show if you even understand what you're doing, right? 1 week, at least make that full cycle and then see, can you actually dispatch this guy? Is he happy with you? But before that, you need to discuss his operational cost. You need to see what mistakes previous dispatcher were doing, or maybe if the driver has a total view on how to run. It's a lot of times is driver who needs to break his habits. He needs to start understanding how we go with the market. He needs to trust you. But to trust you, you have to have confidence, and confidence only comes with knowledge, not only knowing terminology, not only know how to finish that setup. It's the easiest task, but logical thinking, operational cost, basics, foundation of financials, right? Profitability, rate per mile, eliminating dead heads, understanding that area, knowing your shippers and receivers, right? What type of equipment are you gonna start with, right? We have different type of equipments. Oh my God, dry vans, flatbeds, canistogas, reefers, load boys, vented van, regular van, power only, right? So you have to decide, can you jump? Somebody asked me that on YouTube. Do you advise me to concentrate on one type of trailer? Yes, I do. I want you to start with one type of trailer. Concentrate. You want to start with dry van? Concentrate on dry vans, because market for dry vans and reefers are different. If you want to start with power only, then well, your choices are what? Amazon, right? Amazon, and though a carrier has to be 6 months in a business, there is going to be building up of their rating, and that's going to take few weeks. People don't understand that you need to get to that A rating. You need to take so many loads so then you can see first the loads, right? That's how even in Amazon, it's not that easy what you think. It's not just click, 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 right? Your safety is important. So understanding the rating for and how to improve, even checking the safety before you call this guy, because a guy can tell you, I am the best guy out there, but dispatchers do not dispatch me. They don't know what they're doing. But a lot of times he has 100% out of service, he has 50% out of service, right? So how can you dispatch him if nobody's gonna give you loads? Well, we're not a magicians, right? We are dispatchers. Dispatchers do their best in any market by connecting, by predicting, by checking what's going to be there tomorrow, by understanding the reality, by using all the tools. But we are not a magicians. When we're going to be magicians, then I am going to open magical dispatch school, right? And there we're going to learn how to do all these tricks. So far, does not exist. Okay, who else is watching us? Good afternoon. Okay. What else? I want to, but I don't live in the USA. Last person. I work for did not pay me at all. I love working hard, but I didn't like him not to pay. Well, um, here it is. Again, you work 1 week for free, but there has to be an agreement. You dispatch them for 1 week. On Monday, you should receive your money at least by 5 p.m. If you do not receive that money, you are not keep dispatching them, right? So at least if they don't pay you, you only losing a week. And carriers have to understand you have to feed your family. You doing your job, so that's why you need to have that agreement, right? Okay, what is this? I appreciate having reviews so we don't waste time, money. I took a course via Zoom, but I wasn't able to hear it all because the instructor was talking to in person students. In Zoom, I was wondering what she was talking. I left like I entered, sad to admit. Are you talking? Are you talking about our class? We don't recall you as our okay. You are not our student. Our students do not have problem with hearing. They participate, so we actually have a good structure classes. I made a mistake of not asking how I was going to be paid. I spoke about my duties and I just trusted the carriers thinking they were going to be professional. Well, this is a business. That's why you need to have agreement, right? You need to have some kind of agreement what you're gonna do, what you're gonna be compensating, what can you do, and that's when the dispatch carrier agreement comes in place, right? As I told you, a lot of people are gonna jump from one person to another, but in the end of the day, who are they hurting? They hurting themselves. They can use you for a week, then they use somebody else, but in the end of the day, when you switch dispatchers, you ending up losing more money than you save on that dispatch fee. So I guess what? I guess next time you need to make sure that if they don't pay you on Monday, you're not dispatching them. Okay. Okay. Hi, Alex. I'm glad you tell dispatchers that the carriers pay them. Yes, Mr. Lincoln, we need to make sure that's what we clarify. Okay. Um, okay, we have some people saying hi, hi, we're not gonna post that. Hello, hello. Okay, hello, Alex. Okay, we're not gonna put this silly comments. Okay. And okay, I will collect money to be in your lesson. Okay, you have high quality sound. I didn't explain myself. Okay, so Rachel was saying that she signed up for other class and she did not like the way the class was running. Okay, sounds good. Well, any other questions? If not, let's continue a little bit more. Well, skills. What skills do you need to have to become that pro dispatcher, right? And of course, the first is the people skills. You have to have people skills because you guys going to be dealing with drivers. You're gonna be dealing with shipping customers because you still need to verify is that load is ready to pick up. You're gonna be dealing with the brokers. You're gonna be dealing with truck stuff sometimes, right? You sometimes gonna call and try to wake up the driver who fell asleep, right? So communication skills, people skills, making sure you are a person who is not afraid of talking, person who knows how to solve the problems, person who communicates even if you have disagreements, right? So per people skill is a must. If you are a person who is afraid of making phone calls, if you are a person who cannot even say 5 words, the dispatching job is not for you. Maybe you can be an accountant, maybe you can run the safety and compliance, but dispatching is not going to be for you. Look at me, right? Do I look like I have people skills? Probably I do a little bit, right? Because I love communicating. I'm a social butterfly. Like my kids, they say, Mom, anywhere we go, you always connect with people. Blah, 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 blah. I am not afraid to start conversation. I am not afraid to talk to people with different backgrounds. So people skills are the must. Well, computer skills. People who took my classes, students who took my classes, they know I don't have the patience. I am not a software engineer. I will never become one simply because I do not have patience. I love talking to people, I love building businesses, but as a dispatcher, even to run this, well, do I need to know how to set up my stream? Well, yes, I do. Do I need to know how to create that Canva little cover up for my YouTube stream? Yes, I do. Do I need to go how to use Adobe? Do I need to go how to create PowerPoints? Yes, I do. Do I need to know how to log into load boards? But am I a software engineer? No. Do I know how to update my website on the front, but not on the back, right? Can I improve my computer skills? Can I type faster? Yes, of course. But again, this is a basic computer knowledge of what? Of load boards, of some TMS, on checking GPS, on searching, Googling, putting stuff together. So please do not be afraid. Some people, especially if you are a little bit older, you think, oh my God, this job is not for me. Or if you've been a driver on the road for 10, 20 years, you're like, no, I cannot do it. Well, we can see, right? It's not that hard. I remember I see the Mr. Lincoln is watching. He's like my hero, right? And he's been in trucking. But did he took that safety and compliance? Was he finishing the task? I don't think it was that easy for him because probably he's like me. He doesn't have patience. But is that something which is possible to anyone to learn? That Excel spreadsheets, that I don't know, using clicking that setups, initial setups. Yes, guys, you can do. So this is a basic computer skills, right? Okay, what else is important? This is second important. Computer skills, it's okay. You have to have it. You're gonna learn it. Easy to improve. Wow, analytical skills. Analytical skills. Can you just improve them? Well, I say you can learn a lot, but you should be a person who can put two and two together. And hopefully, you guys are going to have four, not five, not six, right? You need to be able, after you get the information, to put it in an order and have an outcome, right? Logical, analytical thinking. Well, let's give you example. Well, you take in trucks, let's say, to Georgia, market changes. And now you took the truck and you check, and instead of, I don't know, $1,200 going back to Indiana, they are paying only $900. Well, analytical thinking. Well, should I choose maybe different destination now? Maybe it is the same 400, 500 run. Maybe I can go to Texas. Maybe I can go to Oklahoma. Maybe I can go to Minnesota. Maybe I can go to upstate Wisconsin. So analytical thinking. You know that market in Georgia, let's went down. So your analytical thinking is going to say, well, let's switch the route, right? Well, your deadheads are too high. It's actually making your drivers not to pick up on a time. Usually you are late for pickup. Your rate per mile goes down. Analytical thinking. What can I do to get rid of those late pickups? What can I do so I can still have enough hours? Well, analytical thinking. Eliminate deadheads. Find to try the loads the closest where you delivering. Maybe asking for that backhaul from the same broker so you actually deliver to the same shipper and you picking up. So you delivering, and then your receiver is becoming your shipper. How often is that happens? By simply analyzing the data, by simply asking that, do you have backhaul? By arranging your load boards and making instead of 150 miles, put 50 miles so you are realistic. So you don't look at 300 loads. Well, put 50 miles around your truck and then you have your real 50 loads. Choose from those loads first. Make phone calls on those loads, then increase, right? So that's analytical thinking. Well, if you always go to some places and they are not organized, what would be your analytical thinking? Well, make that blacklist. And when you hear that it's a Lineage Logistics or it's Midwest Refrigerated, or you're going to be delivering to Food Lions or McLean, or maybe you're going to Target, or maybe you're going to Dollar General, and you asking that question, maybe say, well, you know what? Let me call you back. Let me get approval of the management. Well, you're not going to tell them, well, you know what? Target sucks. They take forever to unload. Food Lions are so unorganized, takes forever to unload. Publix is another one. So by analytical thinking, by having the data, that's how you're going to be that pro dispatcher, right? Is it possible? Possible. It's possible with your time. It's possible with knowledge that you're going to gain, but also writing down, memorizing, and learning from your mistakes. This is the biggest thing, learning from your mistakes, okay? And again, how do we find the loads? Well, we find the loads from where? From load words. So here, for example, here is the DAT, right? And all we know, we have to go to DAT1 nowadays, and we have lots and lots of tools, right? So let me move this so you guys can see better. Okay, so let's see. We are loading to DAT1. So you can add truck, you can search loads, you can search trucks, and you have a bunch of tools. So today we're not actually gonna go through this, and actually put the comments. Do you guys want me maybe even tomorrow go and maybe not tomorrow, tomorrow I'm busy, but on Friday we can go in details about the tools. And we've been doing it a few times, but again, we have updated that one. So we have tools, which is a market condition, rate view, trend lines, lane makers, and all other things. Quick rate search. This is the first and the easiest tool. So that's what we're gonna do. We actually gonna do the live, and we're gonna take maybe quick rate lookup and then maybe market conditions, and we just going to work on it and show the different insights, how I use it, what should you look for, and why is it beneficial. But in the end of the day, you post your truck, you search your loads, and other things you need, it's all here. So this is a load board. Post the truck. While posting the truck, it will be also so easy. Well, you choose a day, right? Let's put whatever Nogales. You need to know where you want to go. You need to learn the USA by zones. How? Look at this. You have it right here. Do you need to know the USA by zones? Yes, we have 10 zones from 0 to 09. Do you need to kind of memorize them as a dispatcher? Yeah, you should know that Z0, it's this area, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, right? You need to know what is Z9, what is our West Coast. Is that easy? You need to understand what is the key market areas. Why? Well, because let me try to make it bigger. Is that better? Okay. So you can see that if you go into Alabama, well, you try to be close to Birmingham, to Chattanooga market, to Decatur, Mobile, Montgomery market. Why? Because that's where they have shippers and receivers, right? So simple as that. So will you post your truck to go everywhere? Well, probably not. Let's say call Alex, right? 855-566-6377. Will you post? Well, maybe just to check what's going on in Nogales today. Comments. What are comments? Do you need to know your equipment? Yes, you need to know your equipment. Is this a air ride trailer? Is that a food grade trailer? Does it has E-tracks? What else he has? Swing doors, roll up doors, right? Is that downloadable TRU if we are talking about reefer, right? So let's say you post. Well, you see it's only 85 loads today, but we are talking already 5:30 p.m. in Chicago. So what time it is in Arizona, right? Do you know? Are you 1 hour behind, 2 hours behind, 3 hours behind? Do you need to know the time zone? Yes, you do. So let's say now you want to copy and you want to put that you are in Los Angeles, right? But this driver only wants to go to Midwest. So is that easy? Yes, you're gonna put Z4, Z5, Z6, right? That's where he wants to go, and you're gonna post 67 loads. Can you organize the highest paying load? Yes, you could. Where's they paying? Going to Ohio, right? $6,000. What do we have? 67 exact matches. Look, remember I told you right here, 150 miles deadhead. Are you willing to deadhead that much or not? Right? And this is for reefer right now, this second. That's what is posted. So you have 67 loads. Well, let's copy and see what's going there tomorrow. This is going to be reality of tomorrow. Still only 83 posted, right? So this, knowing how to search, know how to delete, know how to add it, it's the easiest thing, right? Yes or no? Yes, it is. Look at this. You have a quick rate search right here. You have your trade lines. You have your market conditions. So that's what we're going to concentrate on Friday. We actually going to go through that in details. And then probably on Monday, I am going to go in details one more time about TruckStop. And we already had our top guys from TruckStop and that, but they are software engineers, right? They are not dispatchers. So when I am showing you tools, I am showing you how I use them and how you need to go through the data as a dispatcher, not as a software engineer. And there is a big difference, right? Okay. So knowing this is not that hard, right? So analytical search. One more time. That's how we find the loads through load boards. But this is the beginning. The good pro dispatcher, after a while, is going to build a relationship with the broker. And that's how you survive when market goes down. Let's say even you dispatch 3 different carriers, but you work with this broker and he knows that you are independent dispatcher. He knows that this guy has a dry van, this guy has a reefer, this guy has 3 step decks, and you dispatch all 3 of them. And if this guy has all the loads for this type of equipment and you like working as him and he's actually decent, then you can start working and say, listen, I have this guy, can you help me out? So you eliminate just depending on the load boards. And also we're going to cover up again, why is it so important to go and work directly with brokers load boards? Go to TQL load board, go to RXO, go to Coyote, go to CH Robinson, go to Trinity, go to all of them, and also post your equipment and search the loads there. Because what the brokers are trying to do nowadays, well, they're trying to have loads on their internal load boards, which are free, right? If you work on the behalf of carrier, you will have access to those load boards. And that's what you have to do. So we don't work just with that. We don't work just with a TruckStop. The pro dispatcher always posts the equipment on those internal load boards because you want them to call directly. And a lot of times you can book right there. So there's another thing. Can you just have one load board? Well, you can have one pro load board where you post your equipment, but you have to go and use all other load boards, right? Let's see if we have any other question. Okay, Hello, Miss Alex. And I still get excited watching your videos. Thank you for keeping up amazing work. Thank you. Unfortunately, when it's a Facebook, I don't know the name until I go and rewatch. But thank you so much. I love my students, and hopefully you come in and you're watching, and you get motivated, right? And you just don't give up. Don't give up. You're gonna get your care if you got it, and maybe a relationship did not work. Go and analyze what did not work, right? Maybe I did not have enough knowledge, maybe I was not ready yet. So it's, what, dispatcher carrier relationship, it's like a marriage, right? Or you work on it, or sometimes you have to split and you have to divorce and move on to another one, right? As long as everybody's learning their lessons, right? Okay. I work for a carrier that did not pay. I reported them for violating the laws. Okay, where do you report them? I'm just curious. Where did you report them, right? Okay. Oh, somebody is proposing to me. Alex, I want to marry you. Okay, let's get married today. You have the ring, big? Well, come on. Get the flowers and we're gonna get married today. Look at me. I kind of have my makeup. I'll change to the white dress. Who is calling us? Let's see. Dispatch.
Yes, hello, good afternoon. Miss, I'm looking for a reefer picking up today in Nogales, Arizona, to Los Lunas, New Mexico. Do you have anything available?
While you're looking for the reefer, going to where?
Picking up in Nogales, going to New Mexico.
Going to New Mexico. What are we gonna do with him in New Mexico?
All right, no problem.
I'm just kidding. What is UMC, sir?
555-609.
555-609. Okay, let me check you out. Armstrong. You calling from Armstrong?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Where are you guys located?
We're in North Carolina.
You North Carolina?
That's our corporate. My office is in Miami.
Oh, you're in Miami? How's the weather in Miami?
Is everything okay? Is everything okay? And where are you?
I'm in Chicago. So this is picking up in Nogales. Till what time can we pick up?
The load is ready now. You can pick it up until 7 p.m.
Okay. What is a commodity?
Tomatoes. It's going to be 50 degrees. But I need to do two drops. Picking up today in Nogales, delivering tomorrow in Casa Grande, Arizona at 6 a.m. And then on Friday in Los Lunas, New Mexico at 7 a.m.
Can I have zip code for the second drop?
Sure. Just give me 1 second, please.
What is the name of the city?
1 second. It's Los Lunas, 78031.
Okay. Who is a receiver in Casa Grande, Arizona?
Walmart is going to be involved.
Walmart. What time are we delivering there?
Tomorrow at 6 a.m. and on Friday at 7.
Tomorrow at 6 a.m. So right now it's already 4:40. By the time my truck gets there, so okay. So we're delivering in Walmart, and in Los Lunas we're delivering also Walmart.
Yeah, exactly.
And what time is the Walmart on Friday?
7 a.m.
7 a.m. And how much are you paying?
I'm paying $3,000.
$3,000. Really?
Yep.
What happened? You did not find the truck?
Yeah, something like that. My customer got like a fallout at the last minute, and she just let me know.
Okay, because it's a good money with two. I mean, we just have to make sure that they're gonna load us, right? And your name and your name your name is Santiago?
My name is Santiago. Yeah, you got it.
Do you see? I have a crystal ball. I know who you are. Okay. 3,000. So we are talking about total of how many miles? We're talking about 600 miles. 3,000. Well, what do you think if we go to 36?
You say it's a good money for it. Can you help me out? I can give you 32.
32? Well,
Yep.
36 sounds better than 32.
Hey, I'm giving you $7 per mile. So give me a
You're
hundred.
giving me $7 because you need to save the Walmart. Walmart is your customer. You just giving it to me because you cannot lose a Walmart. It's called me being in the right time in Nogales, Arizona. This is a miracle. This is
My
a
customer is the supplier.
yeah, I know the supplier, but still they are bringing the stuff to Walmart. So supplier cannot afford to lose Walmart, right? So 36.
I can give you 36. I'm getting 35 from my customer. That's what I offer you, 36.
35. Well, this is a load when you should just break even and make zero. You guys been taking advantage of all the carriers. You're running them out of business. Soon we're not gonna have trucks on the road, Mr. Santiago. Come on. Okay, let's do this.
Right.
Let's do this. 30, 34.95, and you have $5 for Starbucks. You love that, don't you? Yes.
Give me just 100. 34.
Give you 100. Okay, this is your direct number?
Yep.
Okay, Mr. Santiago, give me 5 minutes and I'll call you right back.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. So, guys, here's an example how we love being a dispatchers. Well, it's posted for 3,000, right? It's actually not bad. I know it's 2 drops, but if you would have a truck right now in Nogales, you can make $3,400. If Mr. Lincoln would be there, he would jump for this, right? But then he has to pay attention. What I'm gonna do in Las Lunas, but for this money, he can even go back to Nogales, probably almost empty, or continue to go back to Texas. So did you like the negotiations, right? Started from 3, asked for 36, got to 34, and believe it or not, we can still push it. If he calls back, we're going to say, you know what? No, we stick into that 34.75. Why? Because this is Walmart. Whoever they are servicing, they cannot afford to lose Walmart as a customer. And Walmart need that tomatoes. Well, what happened? Probably truck broke down. Probably somebody did not get unloaded or something, whatever is this thing. But this is example of magical load. Because guys, if you really look at this, it's only this load posted. And who is posting? Look, Armstrong, Megacorp, and another one. And at least this guy put in a comment, well, you have another drop, Casa Grande, Arizona. Megacorp did not actually posted it, and this load was posted only 5 minutes ago. And that's what we do, right? If you go back and you add it, and you look what's going on in Nogales right now, well, it's only 79 loads, right? And if you look at the rate, well, do you want to go all the way to Massachusetts for 2,500 miles for 7,700? Or do you want to take this 34 and do 600 miles, right? Yes, I know it's 2 drops, but it's possible. This transit is possible if your driver is right there. If he has hours, he's going to pick up. He's going to deliver to Walmart tomorrow, 7 o'clock. We're going to give him what? We're going to give him 3 hours to load and unload because he's a reefer. It's Walmart. He has all day to make it to 7 o'clock. But let's do this trick. Let's see what's going to happen on Friday in Las Lunas. Because again, it sounds all good, right? It sounds all good. So let's go and see what are you gonna do with him. And that's why I told you, look, you can go to San Antonio or you will need to deadhead back. So let's be realistic. Let's say you're gonna go back to Nogales because Nogales pays. So this is your reality. You're gonna deadhead. So now you're talking, and let's switch. Let's say that we're taking the same route, right? So now you're talking about 1,175 miles. So now 3,400 divide by that. What is it gonna give you? Well, it's still gonna give you almost $3 per mile, but it's not $7 per mile. So do you see the logic in all of this? All this sounds good. And the broker is telling you, I am giving you $7 per mile, because broker doesn't care what you're gonna do in Los Lunas on Friday. But you a pro dispatcher, and that's your skills. What are you gonna do? And be realistic. And in this scenario, if that would be me, I would take him back. I would try to find the load back on Friday to Nogales area. Why? Because Nogales is paying. Even if I have to take him empty, we still gonna be at almost $3 per mile, and we still gonna get a good load on Saturday, because Saturday, what's gonna happen? Every time we have a class on Saturday, we have the brokers begging us for the truck in Nogales, and they pay extra. So if that would be my truck, if that would be exactly what's happening right now, I would take this load, come back empty, not even wasting time on cheap load. Come back, being in Nogales again on Friday night, and be in an early truck on Saturday. And this is just an example of how we do this job, how you become a pro dispatcher, how your logical, analytic skills, your people skills, your blah, 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 making you to be that irresistible dispatcher who knows what he is doing, right? Let's see a few answers, and then we're gonna finish this live, because we already over 1 hour. People complain, Alex, your videos are too long. Some people like, I work in the shipping and receiving. We had we had 3 trucks come this week for orders, and I'm ready till July. Would that be on dispatcher? Well, it would be on the broker. But what I am teaching you guys in my class, stop trusting brokers. Because the problem is, brokers, let's say TQL, they have the sales team. Then they have the people who arrange, who sell the loads. Then they have the trackers. Then they have somebody who's scheduling. A lot of times they get lost in this process, right? So when I receive rate confirmation, I call and ask shipper. I have a pickup number. This is scheduled for today, for tomorrow. Is the product is going to be ready? Why would I want to deadhead my truck, drive in there, and then find out it's not ready? Broker can give you a hard time. Do not call shippers. Do not call receivers. Dear brokers, if you would do your freaking job, I did not have to do it. If you would be honest and actually double checking before you book this load, I would not have to do it. Otherwise, please back off. Let me do my job. And my job is to make sure my driver does not waste his time. I don't need your $150 tonneau. I need to make sure that we are surviving. And that's why my pushiness, my directness come to. So dear brokers, start doing your job. Make that extra phone call. Instead of going to the lunch early, make sure if you sold 5 loads, make sure that they're going to be ready. Because a lot of times you guys get lost. And plus, a lot of brokers are actually trying to bid on the same loads. So TQL or Coyote thinks that they got the load, but no, New Prime got it for cheaper, right? So a lot of times they don't even have that, right? Because of all these bidding wars. Okay. There are so many rude dispatchers. I wish they were all as beautiful as you. Well, you kind of combining 2 things, being rude and being beautiful, 2 different qualities, right? But thank you for the compliment. So let's think about it. A lot of people take my directness, assertiveness for rudeness. Well, I can be rude sometimes, but again, in this market, knowing that a lot of times information is not true makes me to be assertive, makes me to be direct, because again, I'm doing my job. And we can sit here and sweet talk like, guys, we had a good conversation with a guy. Nobody was rude, but Do I need to make sure that that Walmart is scheduled? Do I need to make sure that that tomato is going to get loaded? Do I need to make sure that for sure that second drop is scheduled already? Yes, I do. So that's why a lot of people think, oh my God. And I got so many comments. Oh, I wish you would not be that rude. Well, I'm not rude. I need to do my job, especially on TikTok. It's just like whoever's watching TikToks, especially those big boys. Guys, I'm not hurting your ego. Go ahead, keep driving without knowledge. What I'm trying to tell you, learn, improve, and knowledge is a key to be professional. Trucking industry is totally different, and I have a lot of students from corporate America. If you guys been watching, make sure you put the likes for our video which I posted 2 days ago. And Emily, she comes from corporate America, but remember, she said, I'm from Bronx, right? I know how to handle people because trucking is totally different. Remember, we have minutes, we have 30 seconds, we have few maybe minutes to arrange this. And a lot of times brokers, they don't really know what they are talking and they try to push you. So that's why this profession is not for people who is going to take it personal. Please, if you're going to cry every time somebody's going to hang up on you, well, dispatching is not for you, right? So we have different faces. We like actors. Dispatcher can be the sweetest when we need that extra $50. Dispatcher can be rude when I need to push you and I know that you need my truck. I can be very aggressive if you promise me to pay the attention and you lie to me. And this is just the different faces of dispatchers. And that's why we love our job, because it's like a theater. Every day something new, right, guys? I love it. Okay. What is the part? Okay. That's the part I'm worried about, the computer part. No, don't worry about it. Do you see? Everything is online. Click, click, click. Again, you don't have to be a software engineer, right? Yes, we're gonna do the detail live on the tools. So that's what we're gonna schedule. Yes. Okay. Also, can you use the same load board on your phone and computer? Well, the phone version is going to be different. So that's why if you're going to be at dispatcher, you need to use it on the on the desktop, and you'd better have the pro version, right? They have a different subscription. Do you see all those tools? All those tools do not come with the cheapest subscription, right? That truck stop, any load board, they know the value of those tools. That's why the highest pro subscription is a must. You'd better have one good pro subscription from that or truck stop, whatever you guys prefer, but you need to have all those tools. You need to have it. Even if you dispatch for a long time, you have to have the data available to you. Okay, you are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Without you, without your likes, without your comments, we cannot help educating. That's why, guys, again, I don't like to ask for this, but we need more comments, we need more shares, we need more likes, so we can, the YouTube kind of pushes us up, and we're almost to what, to 19,000. But I see some channels, they just grow so fast. I don't know what they do. Maybe every time they're like, oh, please subscribe, oh, please become a member. Well, I'm not going to be bag anybody, because I know the value that we do. It's for your own good, right? For me, this is just my life. I love teaching and I love to share the knowledge. I am the true educator. I love helping people with the knowledge, right? Not just with the fake news, not with just me sitting there and pretending. I want to make sure that you build a strong foundation. Okay. So that was a great call, amazing negotiator and skills. Okay. So this was 2 drops. Yes, he did not say right away that it was 2 drops. Why? Because first they want you to tell that price, how much he's paying. That's why you have to go back to the map. You have to see the reality. Do you have enough time? And of course, if we would be booking, we need to make sure we go to the ELD of our driver. We need to know, does he has enough hours to complete the transit tonight? Because his delivery was tomorrow, although it was not that much. We only had to do what, 137 miles, let's say 3 hours. Right now was what, 4:30. Let's say my truck gonna get there 5:30, loading 5:30. Let's even give them loading 2 hours, 7:30. So if your driver had enough hours, this is possible. Dropping the first time, going second. First, this is not a minus 10 degrees. This is tomatoes. He said it was what, 50 continuous, right? You just have to make sure that those tomatoes already ready, that you can pick up, right? But probably they are. Why are they paying such a high price right now at 4:30 p.m.? Well, because they lost the truck. Maybe somebody had a breakdown. Maybe somebody found a better load and made up the story, right? Maybe somebody like, okay, I'm not gonna go to Los Lunas because it's not in there. I'd better take the load all the way to East Coast. Different things, right? Remember, dispatchers, we are not the liars. We are good storytellers, right? Same with the brokers. When they make up story that, oh, load is not going to get picked up, well, because they found somebody who is going to do it for cheaper. So not telling the full truth goes on both sides, dispatcher sides and broker sides, right? Remember, when you tell the story, your story has to be the same. Your driver has to have the same story. It has to be logic. Because if you tell the story, oh, my truck is broke down, he has some nail, well, the broker can say, it's okay, you can pick this load tomorrow. But if you already booked the load and your driver accepted micro tracking from this broker, well, they know you are lying. So your not truthful stories should not become a reality sometimes. And I'm telling you how it is. Do I have to make up stories? But when I make up stories, they sound truthful, they have logic in them, right? And I don't abuse it. Sometimes I need to tell the story because I found something better, or maybe I have to help my carrier. Maybe he did not wake up on time for that delivery at 4 a.m., right? Will I admit that he forgot to put alarm? Well, no, I don't want him to sound like irresponsible driver. Then I can make up story about the nail in the tire. Do I have the picture of the nail in the tires? Yeah, on my phone I have millions pictures of different tires of different trucks. And again, this is a reality. We're here teaching reality of trucking. We're not pretending that we are the best dispatchers, that we have the highest rate per mile, that we never have the problems. We're not pretending that sometimes we don't get in an argument with our owner operators and drivers. Yes, we do. And sometimes we exchange even the bad words, right? We do. But then we come back to our senses, we see what can we fix, and we going on. So in the end of the day, all the problems have to be solved. You have to wake up with positive. You cannot start hating your drivers. You cannot start disrespecting your dispatchers, because you guys are the same team. And atmosphere, the culture between you has to be positive, has to be healthy, has to be productive, and both of you have to make money on it, right? That's a message from the Alex. And it takes time. Okay. What is this? You're the gracious. You thank you so much. And this is our student now in the class. Okay. Hi, good. How are you? I'm good. People watching us from different countries. This is our viewer from Ukraine. Slava Ukraini, Героям Slava. And again, a reminder, we have people who in Ukraine been affected by the war, especially guys. If you are in active army right now, if after all this done, and hopefully this is going to be done pretty soon, all my family back in Ukraine, praying for them every day, please reach out to me. As I told you before, my classes will be free for you. Okay? I am supporting my country. I'm supporting my civilians. I am supporting my people. So please reach out. This is gonna be end to this, and hopefully I can give you the future, and maybe you're gonna become that dispatcher. Maybe you're gonna become that safety manager. Okay, so we are hoping for the best. Okay, I need to see you every day. Well, you'll get tired from seeing me every day. Okay, what else? Dad is very important and plays a major. Yes, dad head is important because it's gonna affect your profits, right? You need to know your operational cost. And here again, we are teaching TQL bad broker. Vitaly Andreychuk, you've been watching me for a long time. Come on, does it come from a professional dispatch? TQL bad broker. Well, TQL is the biggest broker. And you still have to deal with TQL, because if you have brand new MC, only TQL and maybe 5-10 other brokers are going to be working with you. TQL is huge. It has a good brokers and bad brokers. But again, remember, this is a business. When the market goes down and the volume of the freight is down, this is a smart business. TQL, whoever runs TQL, they're salespeople. Of course, if you work for TQL, what is your duty then? To make sure that you sell this load at the lowest price. So please, let's be professional, right? TQL is one of the biggest brokers. And since they have lots and lots of loads, they can control the prices, right? That would be more professional than just saying, oh, they are bad, they are good, they are okay, they silly or whatever, right? So, Vitaly, давайте вчитися, давайте трошки вчитися. So TQL is controlling the market because they have a big pie of this USA market, right? Okay, what else? I got my first carrier to congratulations. Thank you so much for all you do. I've been listening to you for the past weeks and I've learned a lot. Well, congratulations. You need to show more skins to get more followers. Okay. Well, sorry guys, I should have read that comment before explaining that. Okay. How do you find carriers this day? People really want to work with dispatchers now. No, people actually want to work with dispatchers even more now because market is tough. We had a lot of owner operators who were able to dispatch themselves. Now they are reaching out and are like, listen, I cannot sit there for 3-5 hours. I cannot because nobody's picking up the phone. It's emails. I cannot drive an email. So actually in a bad market, the need for dispatchers is higher, but need for dispatchers with knowledge, dispatchers who know what they're doing, not just so-called dispatchers, right? Okay. I think we're gonna be done for today. We need better brokers. They are treating okay. We need better, but they are treating carriers like employees. Well, again, going back, we have two sides. We have brokers and we have carriers. We have market, supply and demand. So what's going on right now? Now the volume is down. Do you think the brokers are not getting hurt? They also getting hurt because the margin is not as high, right? So when the margin is not that high, well, they still have to be profitable, right? They still need to do and pay their employees, right? They have to pay for their offices, they have to pay for their tracking departments. Even if you're a broker who just works for himself, he still needs to make money. So not only carriers are hurting, brokers are hurting as well. Guys, if you think that they are keeping all the money, the problem is, and that's why I want to make sure that brokers understand when they go and they negotiate that load, well, they need to know operational costs, and they do. So if you negotiated that lane and you know that any driver who is going to take, doesn't matter, even if he has pay of truck, but you need to know operational costs. So if it's cost nowadays in the USA with a driver, with a fuel, with insurance, with equipment, to break even, let's say $1.90, how can you negotiate this for $2 so you can make your 10 cents per mile? How? And that's what kills me. Brokers, you have to understand this. You cannot just go there and underbid each other, right? Because you are actually hurting all these people who've been in trucking forever. And that's a problem I have with the brokers. But of course, supply and demand, that's what dictates market, right? And transparency. I think we're gonna do the live finally next week, and we're gonna talk about the transparency with the brokers, how much they're really getting paid, right? Are they really keeping that money, or they just also trying to survive so that when they negotiating, they just go for as low as possible to get that lien, to bid that Pepsi, to underbid that TQL, to underbid the Coyote, right? What the game's going on? Are they really just simply underbidding and their margin is so low and they don't really care about if we're gonna survive? This is a bigger issue. Okay. So what else? Alex, become a broker and give me a good rate. Well, actually, that's what I've been thinking. Maybe finally, I need to become become a broker. Дякую, Віталій. Я ж знаю, що ти вчишся, тому давай будемо професіоналами. Ми українці, ми найкращі професіонали. Okay. TQL does not control the market. False. Well, TQL does not control the market. Well, the bigger brokers always control the market because that's what they do. That's why most of them, they are having these rates, right? Tell me how they do not control the market. Well, the bigger brokers always control the market. Why? Why would they not control the market? If they, let's say, take 40% of the loads, well, of course they can. But the problem is that their sales nowadays, when they negotiated because of the low freight volume, when they go and negotiate those new rates, they go way lower than they should because they simply do not care if the carrier is going to surprise. And this is still the biggest problem in trucking industry, right? Okay. Thank you for sharing the knowledge. Okay, guys. Well, we're gonna be done today. One more time. If you guys are thinking of opening trucking company, please do not do that mistakes before you go to our webinar. You need to know. You need to know what's going on, what's gonna take, how uh, how the trucking runs. Are you ready financially? Do you have the guts? Do you have the knowledge? Did you structure your company? So this is going to be 3 hours. Usually we go 4 hours, and we're gonna be on Sunday, 1 p.m. July 9th. So this is $199. This is nothing compared to how much knowledge you're gonna get. We're gonna talk about all the things: USDOTs, MCs, clearinghouse, permits, heavy duty taxes, factoring, how to choose factoring, insurance, what to do, not to do, activation of that MC, everything you need to know before you decide to go to trucking. Well, again, if you're looking for express class, I'll see you in August. If you are looking for a regular class, then I'll see you in September. Okay, because I will be traveling. Finally, I'm gonna take 20 days and I'm going to South America, Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. So I need to find that time to learn how to tango. That's on my schedule. So next week I have 2 classes scheduled already. I want to make sure I know how to tango. I see you guys, and hopefully you're gonna like, share, comment, and sign up for our trainings.